Hello everyone. Today we're going to go over how to safely search or find a website you're not familiar with. So maybe you're at work and somebody said, there's a website I went to the other day and it's like something.com, and they don't remember the exact website URL. Or maybe you think you'll remember it, you didn't write it down, and by the time you got home you're like, oh, I can only remember part of it. Well, we're going to teach you how to safely search for a website. And then we're going to also show you how to use a tool called VirusTotal to see if a website is rated as malicious. So you can help build the story, as I like to say, to determine if, okay, I haven't seen any red flags up to this point, probably a safe website to visit. So first thing we want to talk about is something called a typo squat. Basically, that is somebody has registered a website address or domain name that is close to a legitimate website. And then they're just waiting. It's out there on the internet, just squatting, waiting for someone to accidentally type the correct website wrong. And then you'll end up going to the wrong website, and maybe somebody has malicious intentions. A hacker out there has created this website, and if you navigate to it, you might infect your machine or your phone or your tablet. So what do I mean? Well, let's search for Google, right? And we know Google is with 2 O's. But what if you were typing really quickly and you did google.com with 3 O's? Now, one of the things you'll see that is a red flag right off the bat is when I put it in my search engine, it's saying, did you mean this? More than likely, that is the correct website that it's referencing, right? Now, one red flag here, which if you're not in the security field, it wouldn't stick out, but Alien Vault is a well-known security company, and they've obviously wrote a story on this, so it's not a good sign, right? But let's go back to google.com. So that's a typo squat. So when you're trying to search for a website, so you're up here in your browser and you see how this is auto completing to google.com. Now, if you're up here typing, you can type whatever you want in here and hit enter, and your search engine is going to try to find something close to what you've typed, right? However, if I put a dot and then I do a suffix, could be .com, .org, .gov, .whatever, as soon as you enter that suffix, 2 things are going to happen. Well, one thing for sure, your web browser is going to try to go to that website. If the website exists, then you're going to go there. And if somebody has created this and it's malicious, then you might infect your machine or your computer, your laptop, your tablet. If it doesn't exist, that's what I mean by 2 things. Your browser is going to use a search engine to say, well, I couldn't find that, but this is close. So when you're searching for things and you're using the top bar up, instead of using the regular search engine window, you're using the top bar, do not put the .com or .anything, right? So I can type that all day long, and it's going to obviously give me randomness. Now, let's say, or let's go to VirusTotal. Let's do that before we run through our scenario. So I'm going to type VirusTotal. Now you can see it is auto-completing to .com. Well, that happens to be the right website because I've been there before. And when I'm typing it, it will sometimes throw up a logo. So anyway, we see .com, but what if it is actually like .org, but when I typed it the first time, I typed .com, hit enter, and it tried to go to the website? I think the best course of action, the best recommendation is to never let it autocomplete. As soon as you see that, you hit backspace, so it's just the word. If you go to a website all the time, on a regular basis, you should create a bookmark. And that way you know you'll safely get to the website in the future. Now, when you're searching for a website, if you're not familiar with VirusTotal and somebody at work told you, hey, check out VirusTotal. So you would do your search like we just did. What am I looking for, right? What What leads me to believe that a website's legitimate? All search engines are different, Google, Bing, Yahoo, but they all have similar reactions. So what you'll see here is the first thing that returned was VirusTotal.com. So that leads me to believe, well, it found a legitimate website. It didn't say something up here like it did a while ago, right? Did you mean? So what else am I looking for? Usually if a website's legitimate, you'll see some sub or parts below that website, different web pages within there. So these are all different web pages on VirusTotal. Over to the right, since we're on Google, it'll show you like the headquarters, who is the general manager or the CEO. So you know that, okay, well, this is a company for sure, right? And when we scroll down, we see Wikipedia entry about it. We see they have a app on the Google Play Store. They have a VirusTotal. They have a Twitter account. Then if it's, depending on what it is, we'll see a couple examples here. But on this one, Krebs on Security is a well-known security website, and he's written stories on it. So obviously, it's got a legitimate news source behind it, app in the Google Play Store, Wikipedia, they're on Twitter. So it's a legitimate website. And I know that because I've been there 100 times, right? Probably millions, actually. So let's go to VirusTotal. So when you get there, you'll see File, URL, and Search. File is to upload a file, which I cover in another video. For this one, we're going to focus on URL. This is the tab you'll use to submit a domain name, a website address, or a URL to see if it is malicious. Now let's use our Google example that we had with the 3 zeros. And you see here, there are no malicious hits. It would be one red or whatever. We'll see in a minute. But you're saying, well, how can this not be malicious? I mean, obviously it's not Google, it's a fake website. Well, when you look at the community score, you see it's in the negative. So that means we should go to the community tab and take a look. And we see 50 thumbs down, right? So when we scroll down here, let's just look through some of these comments. So first you see typo squat, malicious, redirect. Typo squat's what I said in the beginning, right? Where somebody created a website that is close to a legitimate one. So in this instance, Google with 3 O's instead of 2 like the real one. And they're just waiting for somebody to type it wrong, so you'll be navigating to the website. And it would probably redirect you to something malicious, and you may infect your computer. Now you'll see this one, it says Google bought it. Now it just redirects to google.com. When I scroll down a little farther, this one says redirects to google.com. A whois lookup shows that Google is the owner. Now, I don't know who these people are. Just because they've got cyber in their name doesn't mean we should automatically trust them, right? Well, in this instance, this person says they did a whois lookup, domaintools.com. That is a legitimate website. We'll cover that in another video. It's technical, and it will just make this video way too long. So basically, with this entry and this entry, what is making me, my assumption is Google has bought this domain. And if you type it incorrectly, they're just going to point you to the right one, which is Google with 2 O's. Now, would I click on this or try to go to Google with 3 O's to see if it works? No, I would not do that. Why? Well, what if Google decided not to rebuy that domain? And if it's now out there on the market again for purchase, a hacker could purchase it. So who knows when Google bought it? And if they don't renew the license, yep, it could be in the hacker's hands again. So you're going to perform your usual search, which is Google, and look for it. Now, one other thing we're going to look at is the details tab. And you'll see here, ForcePoint, there may be Bitdefender or other security companies listed there, but they will tell you the category that they've determined this website to be. Well, for Google, it is a search engine, correct, and a portal. So they line up. Well, what if they didn't line up? Let's say you searched for something crazy, I don't know, whois, whatever. And when you get here, it says, something random, or it says uncategorized. An uncategorized website means a couple of things. One, it could be new. Nobody's actually analyzed it yet and given it a category. But what it definitely means, more than likely, 99.9% of the time, is it's not a popular website. So if you're going to download a piece of software, if you're going to read a news story, something like that, or shop online, you're usually going to go, or you should be going to, legitimate popular websites. So if you see uncategorized, I would definitely consider that a warning sign or a red flag, because the website's either new or it's just not visited by a lot of people, which could mean that it's definitely malicious in nature. It could be safe, but if it's not used by a lot of people, that should be kind of a little warning sign that maybe I shouldn't go there either. Now, what happens when we analyze a website in VirusTotal? Think of it as having 66 antivirus or security companies at your beck and call. So you took this URL and you were able to run it through all these security companies without having to subscribe to their service. So in easy terms, it'd be like you had 66 pieces of antivirus software on your computer or your phone or your tablet, which you would never want to do because that would just cause problems. But let's say, you scanned the website and it was malicious, and let's say there was like 10 hits of negative and then the rest of them said clean. How could that happen, right? Well, think of this as it's just a database. So, the database for the company. So Bitdefender. Bitdefender has a database in the background. And if you're not familiar with databases or you're not real technical, think of a database as a phone book. So if I want to go and look up the phone number to Kroger, my local Kroger, I'm going to go to my database, which is my phone book, and I'm going to look for, under grocery, I'm going to look for Kroger, and there will be the phone number and the address. So Bitdefender has their database. And in order for them to know if this google.com with 3 O's is malicious, either somebody has to tell them, hey, please rate this as malicious. Or if you have their antivirus, you're one of their customers, one of their security products, and you go to that website and you have it set to where you will let them know it's sent back to their servers or their home office, well, they'll see it and say, oh, somebody's trying to go to this website. Whoa, we don't have this categorized. This is not normal for us. First time we've seen this. They'll scan the website. If it comes back as malicious, they will add it to their database to be malicious in nature or bad. And then they will send out a signature update to their clients. So that's why everybody tells you need to regularly update your software, your web browsers, your antiviruses, whatever it may be. You need to update that on a regular basis, because it not only gives you new features, but they will patch security holes. Or in this case, an antivirus vendor will send you an update to say, hey, guess what? This website is now malicious. Okay, so now we know how to use VirusTotal. Let's run through some scenarios. And you saw there when I was typing Google, it auto-completed, and I hit backspace because I just want to go ahead, go to my search engine, and I want to see the stuff that I want to see to make sure a website's valid, right? Because who knows? Maybe somebody else was using my computer and typed it wrong. All right, so let's say you're at work and one of your coworkers said, oh man, I bought a new electronic gadget off of this website called BH Photo Video. You should check it out. Maybe somebody overhears you and they say, actually it's B&H Photo. Maybe somebody else says, no, actually it's B&H Video. So you get home and you want to check out this website and you're like, I don't know if it's B&H Photo, B&H Photo Video, BH Photo Video. Well, the last thing you want to do, right, is type up here B&H Photo Video, we'll just put .com and start hitting enter and trying all the random connections. You don't want to do that, right? Because it could be a malicious website. So we will type B&H Photo. So it comes back and it says, hey, we're showing you websites or results for B&H Photo. If you want to search instead for what you actually search for, click here. So we'll do that. And nope, this is not what we're looking for. So we go back. We'll see the B&H photo. So you're just now going to this for the first time. Your first step is to determine, is BH Photo Video, is that a legitimate website? Well, as we said in the last example, we see the parts underneath the website. Usually if a website is just set up to spread malware, there may not be a lot of domains underneath it. Also, that means that Google has crawled this website. So Google has actually went to BH Photo Video and they've categorized everything that's on their website. So when you see these little sub headings here, this is parts within BH Photo Video. That's a good sign. Let's just leave it there. It's a good sign. You see on the right over here, this is probably a Google Maps address location for them. You see a Wikipedia entry. You'll see some videos that have been written or people have made videos about this company. You'll see they have a YouTube channel. They have a Google Play Store app. They have a presence on LinkedIn. They have an app in the iTunes Store. So all of this tells me this is a legitimate company. So what if we did actually search for, we're going to put quotes around this. Let's say we put quotes around it. We were going to search for this. And what did I say earlier? If the first hit is the URL, that's usually a good sign, right? Well, not so fast in this example. First, since we put quotes, it didn't say, hey, did you actually mean this website? But you see bnhphotovideo.com.cutestat.com. When you see something that is like website address .something else, it should already raise your spidey senses, if you will, if you're a comic book fan. But you should automatically start thinking, okay, something don't look right here, right? So in this instance, when you see cutestat.com, that is actually the website. The parts before that are subdomains on that website. Now, we won't go too far in the weeds here, but we'll use an example. Let's say you regularly go to facebook.com. Let's say you clicked on the video section. Now, all of a sudden in your address bar, you see videos.facebook.com. You're actually on facebook.com. The videos is just a subdomain. So when you see something like this with a bunch of dots and randomness, whatever is directly in front of the three-letter suffix at the end, or it could be two. There's some domain names now with two. But if you see .org, .com, .gov, whatever is right in front of that, that is the website. So you're actually going to Cutestat. You're not going to B&H Photo Video. Why would somebody do this? They may send some phishing emails out, right? That say, hey, your credit card needs to be updated on B&H Photo Video. And if you are regular customers of theirs, you'll say, oh, I need to go update my credit card. And if you just see the word B&H Photo Video, you're like, oh yeah, this is the website, because you didn't stop to think or analyze and see all this extra stuff here. So, okay. Now that we beat that dead horse, let's go to VirusTotal. So we've already determined that from our coworkers at work, B&H Photo Video, this is the website we want to go to. We've determined it's legitimate by the stuff on the right, the subheadings. They've got a Facebook page, an app in the App Store, a LinkedIn profile. So now what do we need to do? We need to go to VirusTotal and see if this is rated malicious, because even though our coworker has shopped there, how do we know that they're careful? We don't have any idea if they just go visit random websites to save a couple dollars, right? So we're going to go to VirusTotal. We're going to go to the URL section again so we could search for the website address, bhphotovideo.com. Okay, there's no hits. There's nothing in the community. We're going to go to the details. Two of these popular vendors have called it online shopping and shopping, which That's what our friends at work told us. So if it's me, would I visit this website? And yes, I would, because I determine it's legitimate. I know some people that I trust that said they bought something there, and it wasn't just one, right? We said there was 3 different of our coworkers that mentioned it. And then when we checked the community tab, we didn't see anything bad. We didn't see anything bad on the detection, and the categories match to what we're looking for. We expect it to be an online shopping website. Okay. So here's one that I made up before the video. I have no idea what this is, but today is reverseday.com. Let's say somebody at work told you, hey, oh my gosh, I saw this funny website. It has a bunch of funny pictures. It's called todayisreverseday.com. So you go home, and what are you going to do? The first thing you're going to do is you're not going to type this in your web browser bar up here. We want to make sure this website is safe. So we type it into our Google search, and here's what we see. Some kind of image link, something on Facebook, but it's not really the right one. There's an Instagram, but it's like some randomness. You know what? I'm not going to this website. I don't care how funny it is. Think about the information on your computer or your phone or your tablet. Have you ever downloaded a bank statement? Maybe you had to scan in your tax return so you could send it to your mortgage company. Well, what's on your tax return? Social security number, date of birth. There is no joke funny enough for me to risk having my identity stolen. So based on what I've seen right here, I would already stop. Let's say that they told you that it was a pig in a pink dress and it was so cute. Well, just search for pig in pink dress, and when you search, click on the images tab, and you're likely to find it that way, right? Don't go to a random website you've never heard of. All right, so let's look at another example. So I typed in Amazon, but I typed in Amazoe, right, with 2 E's. And we see here it says amazone.com.viewsforcash.com. Well, is this Amazon? Well, of course not. It's spelt wrong, first of all. But what did I say in the previous example? Whatever is directly in front of .com or .org. Well, it's Views for Cash. So I'm not going to Amazon. I'm going to Views for Cash, which has nothing to do with Amazon. I'm not going there. This is what we're looking for, right? Amazon.com. We see some, right? They have Prime Video. They have Amazon Prime. This is what I mean by in book section. This is what I mean by Google has crawled the website and told you some of the parts underneath. But we also see over here on the side, the CEO, where it's headquartered, their stock information. We see, Forbes, Business Insider. They've written news stories about Amazon. They have a Twitter account. They have a YouTube page. MarketWatch has talked about them. So all of this leads us to believe, yes, Amazon is a legitimate company. So even though we know Amazon is legitimate, let's pretend we did not have any idea what Amazon was. What are we going to do? Go to VirusTotal. Amazon.com. It's rated safe. We're going to look at the community. Well, 7 people have said it's unsafe, but 35 has said it's safe. Well, why would that? Well, there's going to be people that don't like websites, right? So it could be somebody that hates Amazon and they just went in here and rated it unsafe. Hybrid Analysis is a well-known security company and they say safe. Either way, there's more positive than negative. We look at the details. The categories line up. There's nothing negative. We already know it's a legitimate website from our Google search. I would go to Amazon. Now, let's say one of the things hackers will do is if there's something big in the news, let's say an actor or an actress or a musician was arrested. Let's say there was an earthquake in Mexico. They will send out emails that says, hey, look at the mugshots of this musician that got arrested. Hey, look at the pictures of the devastating earthquake in Mexico, or donate to this charity for the victims of the victims of the earthquake in Mexico. So they'll send that to you. And if you didn't ask for that email to be sent to you, it's not sent from something you're normally used to, like your bank or whatever. Well, okay, don't click on it. But let's say the website was this, and you're like, whoa, okay, well, I don't know what this has to do with the Mexico earthquake, but this looks like a very fishy website. So what are you going to do? You're going to not click on it in the email. Do not click the link in the email. Go to your search engine. Type it in, and what do we see? Well, did you mean? Well, already that's a warning sign. More than likely, somebody did a typo squat and put an F in front of the real website. But let's keep looking. Well, it says it's right here. Here is a big warning sign. It says parked. A parked domain is somebody has bought the domain but hasn't actually created a website for it. So that one with Google with the 3 O's like we talked about, that could have been a parked domain back in the day as well before Google bought it. So when you see parked domain, you just stop right there. I'm not going to continue. But let's go ahead and say, well, okay, maybe they did mean this. Maybe when I looked at the email, I got it wrong. What do I see here? Glassdoor. Well, that's a popular website that rates companies. I see a LinkedIn with Incruit. Okay, well, let me search for Incruit here. And what do I see? Well, it's an actual website. I'm not good on this language. I think it's Korean. But I see a Wikipedia entry for Incruit Corporation. I see a LinkedIn information and Glassdoor. This is probably a legitimate website, right? So let's go ahead and go to VirusTotal and see if Incruit is legitimate. Incruit.com. Nothing negative, nothing in the community, and it says job search. Maybe this is a Korean job search website. I have no idea. But I digress. That's really not, we're kind of going down the wrong rabbit hole here. You were sent an email for this website right here, fincruit.co.uk, and it said, donate to this charity for the victims of the Mexico earthquake. Well, we did our search like we did a while ago, right? And it looked suspicious. We went ahead and went to VirusTotal. We see 2 negative ratings, nothing in the community, but aha, when we go to details, it says uncategorized. If it was a legitimate charity, it would say something here about being a charity, right? Now, again, you're asking, well, why do 2 people say it's malicious, but no one else does? Well, it could be that no one that has that software, so nobody that has a Vera on their computer or their phone or their tablet, nobody's went to fincruit.co.uk, so Avira has no idea this website exists. There's no way for these companies to go out and look for every website on the internet. It's just not going to happen. So nobody from one of their clients has never visited it, and no one's went to avira.com to say, look, this is a malicious website. So just because you see more green than red does not mean it's safe. The fact that I see 2 red, it says uncategorized, and when I did my Google search, it was very weird. All of that tells me I am no way going to click on this website. But you may be asking yourself, but I do want to donate to the victims of the Mexico earthquake. Well, let's do charity, Mexico earthquake 2019. We'll type that in our little search engine, and what do we see? Okay, well, I have no idea where to start, right? So let's say we scroll down here and we see charitywatch.org. And I'm like, I think I remember seeing a news story about that a long time ago, but I'm just not sure. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at charitywatch.org. Well, what do we see right off the bat? We see parts underneath the website, right? Like we'd mentioned. Okay. So it's looking good so far. People also ask, usually you won't see this stuff unless it has something to do with the website. There's a Wikipedia entry for it, and there's a consumerreports.org story for it. So this is looking like a legitimate website. So we can go there and see if we can find a Mexico or a charity in Mexico for earthquake victims. And we could also just do Mexico earthquake 2019 and see if they've even had one. And unfortunately, yes, they did have one on April 22nd. So that's what happens, though, that, hackers will send out these phishing emails right after some big event in the news, whether it's, somebody being elected president or, like I said, a natural disaster, somebody famous in the news. Maybe a company has made a name for themselves. You'll get an email saying, oh, you should donate to their stock. Click here. You really do not need to click in the link in the email. You can go to the search engine, search whatever was in the email, and you should be able to find the legitimate site that way. That way you just avoid accidentally falling victim to a phishing scam. So hopefully this video has been helpful. As a quick little run through real quick, we'll do a quick recap. You can go ahead and cancel now or stop the video if you want, but for a quick recap, our people at work told us, hey, BH Photo Video, that's a great website to buy electronics from. Okay, well, I have no idea what that is. BH Photo. Oh, it looks like a legitimate site. I see stuff on the right. I see YouTube, Facebook mentions, apps in an app store, LinkedIn profile. I see app in an iTunes store, see a Wikipedia page, but still not sure. Let me go ahead and go over to VirusTotal. We're going to do bhphotovideo.com. Okay, there's no malicious hits. There's nothing in the community that says bad. And the category says online shopping. Would I visit the website? Well, yeah, because 3 people at work told me they used it. I saw nothing in my Google search, my internet search, that said, danger. And when I went here, I didn't see any danger warning signs here on VirusTotal either. So yeah, I would go to the website and visit it and, buy something. Now, I've used BH Photo Video, like I said earlier, so I can vouch for that website. It is legitimate. But anyway, I hope this has been helpful, and thanks for watching.